the required rate of return. Now, this is what we were talking about in our previous example, and you're going to see this quite a lot throughout the exam. Please take heavy notes of this, be familiar with it, and you'll do just fine. Now, your required rate of return, this is what I was saying. If you're a company and you're the manager of that company, you're in charge of the operations, it's basically the rate you need to earn on anything you do in order for you to accept it. So maybe you're Nike and you want to produce a new line of clothing. Just maybe it's based on a brand or a trend or something, and you really want to slam dunk this. Triple R, your required rate of return. What is that? Well, it's a combination of many things. It's the risk-free rate. Okay, so generally, if I'm Nike, let's say the risk-free rate's 3%. I want to make at least 3% to, otherwise I might as well just put my money in government bonds. Maturity risk premium, well, this is exposure to interest rate risk. I'll go through the definitions in a second. Plus, we have to account for this. Let's say it's 2%. Now, let's say inflation is at 5% right now. Pretty high, but as we all know, it can get pretty high. So inflation, we have to account for that, for sure. And then liquidity risk premium, that's what we talked about as well. We talked about liquidity risk as not being able to turn your assets into cash without significant price concessions. Let's just say that's 4%, and then default risk premium, the risk that you can't pay back your debts, and let's say that's 3%. Now this is all on top of whatever the manager says. So we would add all of these together, but also maybe the manager says, "Hey, anything we do with Nike, with our company, we should probably make 10%. That's just what we should make." Because we know that we accept projects where we make a lot of money. So with all of these amounts, right, 10% is just normally as Nike what we generally expect to make, and then all of these added together. Well, first I did the math. We got, what was that, 5, 10, so that's 20, 24, 27. We have 27%. This means that Nike needs to make at least 27% on launching this new clothing brand in order for them to accept or say yes to this project. Let's just cover all of what these are. Risk-free rate, right? It's the theoretical rate of return of an investment with zero risk, generally accepted as the U.S. Treasury bond rate. Market risk premium, being exposed to interest rate risk over time. We saw this. So just another formula to memorize, knowing that all of these are components of the required rate of return that management needs in order to say yes, sign off on a project. Inflation premium, all of these are what premiums, right? You add that on to your required rate of return. Talked about these. Take some time, read them through. Just knowing that these are all part of the required rate of return. Hey there! Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.